Hey guys, Demi here from Atlas Vibrations, and I am here with your Mercury retrograde in Virgo collective update. And this is going to be, I don't want to say a long one, but just a very Virgo energy read today. And so, I don't know if you guys have been feeling it also, the more feminine energy and slower process and side of this retrograde so far. Now, I wouldn't say it doesn't surprise me, but you guys have probably been seeing the typical Mercury retrograde vibes that we always get when it comes to travel, thinking, speaking, technology, all of those things that Mercury does rule. And if you guys have been watching my videos, you guys know generally what a Mercury retrograde does. And for those that are new to the channel or are new to spirituality, Mercury, just quickly, is much about communication, travel, siblings, what else? Thought processes, speaking, and more for us with these Mercury retrogrades is to review our speech, how we talk, because as humans, for the most part, we actually communicate verbally, and we think before we're supposed to think before we speak, or we just kind of blurt out what's on our mind versus working within the heart space. But with this particular retrograde, we're going to be doing and dealing with more of the mental patterns of ourselves, and you'll see like the miscommunications very easily. But I don't want to say this is going to be, I don't want to say like a doozy of a retrograde, but it's going to be more about ourselves. So I am posting this video and filming this video today on the start of the retrograde, and then it ends on September 15th. So we got about 3 weeks worth of this. Now, you guys have seen your shadow periods for the past few weeks, depending on where it is landing in your chart. So for me, mine is in the 12th house. So what this means is it has an effect every day on your life in some way, shape, or form. So you have been definitely seeing it probably for about the past month. And I know that we have a lot going on right now with the eclipses coming up. We've stepped into eclipse season full blown, so I'm hoping to put a video out on that hopefully next week, if not beginning of October or September. I'm sorry, I'm in Halloween mode, guys. Like, I'm ready for Halloween, but oh my god, Halloween, Samhain, I'm so ready. But we are beginning to see the changes within us that we need to kind of get in alignment with. So we got a lot going on, so I will just do an energy update next week. But let's step into Virgo energy, okay? So Virgo energy is a very, I don't want to be like special energy, but what this energy embodies is our daily life, our daily grind, how we live within the everyday lives, or even lifetimes that we choose to incarnate here on Earth and other spiritual planes. So the axis of Virgo and Pisces, because that is its opposite on the wheel, is Pisces is more of your spiritual realm, whereas Virgo is more of your daily life. So think about it as when you make your soul contracts, that's going to be a more Piscean energy, spiritual, flow, infinite. And I personally believe with Pisces that the energy is water, but it's also aether, in which we go back to, because it's the end of the cycle of going back to spirit, going back to love. And I personally believe that Pisces embodies every single zodiac sign combined, and energy combined for all that is to be, and all that is to flow. Now, Virgo on the opposite end, which is more of what we're dealing with now, because we just stepped into Virgo season today, we are looking at the daily literal manifestation, incarnation of your lifetimes. And Virgo energy is all about the self. It is a feminine energy. It's soft, it's creative. It can be creative in how we intellectually go through and do things. So it is also about how we feel, how we take care of ourselves, how we heal ourselves, our health. It rules our health as well. It rules how we like to do our work. So technically, Virgo energy, people say it's about your, not necessarily about your career, but your actual daily life work and how you do your work. Being that with our societal standards and where we are now within this earthly energy of top-down government officials, you know, human enslavement when it comes to money, that's all I'm going to say with that. that because we could do a whole other video on that. But you're technically supposed to be free. So Virgo energy does rule money. It does rule the monetary. It rules how you work, how you make your money, and how you bring that in. So it ropes into all of those things. And even pets, like the sixth house, and which Virgo rules, is also about pets as well. So once again, how we take care of ourselves, how we mentally process things, how we narrow in on those little energetic things, like looking down to the literal like details, those little small details, like a Virgo energy, like that, like I have a Virgo rising. So you're going to notice anybody who embodies Virgo energy, they do not miss a detail. You are never going to fool a Virgo when it comes to that. And they're very good at keeping track at quote unquote receipts. So if you try to, I hate to say it, like fuck over a Virgo, you're not going to do that because they literally can see the little details of your life every day. So mind wise, this is, I personally believe too, that Virgo is the axis too with Gemini. It kind of works with Gemini like a yin and yang symbol. I believe that personally that Virgo is the yin energy, which is more the feminine, the process, because we tend to, with Gemini, where we speak out, and how we speak, communicate, literally speaking in that way. So usually we think before we speak, or we're supposed to, like I said before. And with this, we try to create the perfect mental stability. Now, yes, big introduction, but now with this retrograde, this is going to be more about yourself and how you mentally think before you go out and like speak to other people, and how you think to yourself. Virgo energy is in a negative polarity. So what this means is, this is when there is a top high, usually you will notice somebody has a Virgo energy where there's a lot of positive communication, a lot of positive things going on, and a Virgo is going to come in and they're going to kind of, I don't want to say knock it down, but they're going to definitely bring that conversation to balance, because when that's what that does. So the negative energy kind of is that opposite polarity, that feminine energy. And you will notice that sometimes a Virgo can have more negative thoughts, but they have a darker aspect and a shadow aspect more to the conversation, to how they think, to help bring balance to the mind. So we are going to be revisiting how we speak to ourselves, how we choose to make our decisions, and then take physical action, Virgo energy, remember it's an earth sign, to have things come to fruition in like our daily lives. So you may be sitting and thinking about, how am I going to mentally go through and do this today? How am I mentally thinking about myself? Am I saying negative things to myself? What negative thought patterns do I continue to have? If you were on an ascension period where you're seeing different energies in, how do I explain this? When it comes to manifestation, so you may be seeing too that in your daily life and in your daily routines, where you do not have positive affirmations and where you tend to really bring yourself down, because it's shadow energy with Virgo, it can be very self-depreciating. We can kind of say, I'm not good enough, or I'm kind of like on that anxiety as well. Virgo energy, or Virgos tend to be have like a anxious, I don't want to say attachments, but energy to that. So that's important to sit here and review all of those things that make you anxious mentally. What gets you worked up, thinking in your mind all the time, where you're going to see these things. And so I have talked to some of my Instagram friends here, and we talked about Chiron too. Some people do believe that Chiron is the also energy of Virgo as well, so wounded healer. And so we were very lucky when I was channeling this through, because Chiron actually came through. And we tend to really beat ourselves up, and Virgo energy can do that, where we beat ourselves up over things in the past that we have no control over. Shadow energy, Virgo tries to control everything as well. But this is where he stepped in and said, we need to learn how to work through our mistakes. And Virgo energy, he says, makes a great teacher, not just Sagittarius energy, not just Capricorn energy. Virgo is an essential teacher and growth for us to understand our self-worth, and learning to go through those mentalities and revisiting those places that we beat ourselves up over not being able to get things done, not being good enough for our jobs, not being good enough in life in general, and who we are on a soul level of taking care of ourselves and our health-wise. So you may be revisiting mentally how you go through these things. This this is also with the cycle and the full moon in Pisces that we have coming up on the last day of the month. So we have a full moon in Pisces, and which I touched on earlier. So this is Pisces rules the spirit world and the realms in which we once again make your soul contract. Your soul contract is also your birth chart. So that is something that before you come into this world, that your contract is literally written, and when you compare it with others, this is your soul contract on what you chose to learn. So if you need to revisit it, I would highly suggest going to get a read from somebody. And so with this Chiron channeling as well, we have to learn to grow through in our daily life lessons. And with Virgo, we tend to get very stuck in our everyday reality. And we need to see where we need to make mistakes. And we're going to be seeing and reviewing where we feel like we quote unquote fucked up, or where we feel like we're not enough, where we've beat ourselves up, how we speak to ourselves. And also, Chiron said, don't give up on our hopes and dreams. The monarch butterfly is going to be a very big symbolism for this retrograde over the next few weeks. And we have to understand that with the butterfly energy, it's about transformation. It starts as a caterpillar, it goes into the chrysalis, which is he's coming in now to say that is a very Virgo energy to slow down, take care of ourselves, allow the time and the process to change. And I'm getting yelled at as we speak, because I'm like, they're like, you're speaking this, but you don't do it. And I'm like, oh, great. More growth for me, but this is life, and this is what we've come to do here on earth. So growth sometimes is pain, and we need to learn how to make sacrifices if we want to make change and move through that change. And it does change our mindsets. It helps us grow. And we have to also learn how to educate others and patiently wait for the outcomes that we're experiencing. So it is a work in progress, and it couldn't be more Virgo in energy than what I just explained. So Spirit, let's grab some guidance. I have a few minutes left. So Spirit's guidance to us right now when it comes to this retrograde is the Six of Swords reversed. So some of us are seeing that we're not getting the recognition that we should be getting. We're realizing that we are worth more. We are realizing that we need to choose our peace, our happiness, instead of getting caught up in Spirit is saying with Libra energy coming up and that eclipse as well. Our relationships and leaving dark places, and that's essentially what that energy they're saying, Spirit saying to embody during this time. And some of you are seeing that you really want peace. Like you do. You want peace hands down, and to move forward with that, Spirit saying. The best practical action for us to take right now is the Nine of Wands upright. This couldn't be any more fitting, because Virgo can also be an energy where it's known for people pleasing, and some people know it as the slave energy, where it's like they're very dedicated to a purpose, dedicated to and very loyal to things that they care about, and they show that dying support. And so with this energy, seeing that we can serve a purpose, and that's where it goes on that opposite end of Pisces, where we have a purpose when we come here, when we make the soul contract, where we step into the spiritual part of love, unconditional love, and then we go to Virgo, and that's where Virgo is a very helping sign, a very giving sign, a very open sign. And Virgos and their shadow energy tend to forget about themselves a lot. We don't serve ourselves in that way, and learning to step into and uplift and showing that support, but giving it to ourselves, the most important thing is learning to heal through that. So the best practical action is for us to continue on our journey, look at the sticks at the bottom on the steps as we move up to the feminine, because we're looking at the moon here up at the top, the crescent moon. Show that support, and not only they're saying to others, but to yourself, and don't give up, and go to the right people who do give you that support. And I think we're learning that once again, Spirit's coming in and they're saying self-worth, self-worth, self-worth. That own self-worth of who you are, what you deserve, what you want to move forward to, and taking those steady actions day by day to do that. But they're very big on making sure that you're getting that support, knowing that you're supported, knowing that you're supported by the divine and the feminine energy. And some of you need to work with your spirit guides a little bit more, they're saying. So definitely take this as a time to reflect on yourself, on your mindset, who you are, where you're going, the support that you get, the stories and the ideas that you tell yourself about yourself, and seeing that it will change in your outer reality when you go through and review this healing. So I hope that this resonated for you, and until next time, my friends, namaste.